Well, speaking of looking average, and I say average, but maybe it's just average for their dominance here. But Alabama, LSU, hell, I almost, I was completely joking when I said Coach O getting carried off the field in his final one here, but that damn near happened. LSU had the ball twice in the fourth quarter here to win the game, couldn't get it done. Alabama wins 20-14, but man, I do not know. And again, Alabama, it's not like they're piss poor out here, but they're making mistakes. They're turning the ball over at critical times. They can't handle a 4-3 defense. And, if not for, there was a critical play in this one, Shane. LSU had the lead first half 7-0. I believe there was 4 minutes left in the first half. Alabama scores, which they finally would. And then LSU had an opportunity to, try to score or run out the clock, whatever you want to do, get to half 7-7. You'd feel great about your chances. Max Johnson throws an interception. Really good play by, I believe it was Christian Harris from Alabama. And the Crimson Tide score right there to get it 14-7. And they scored on the back end in the third quarter. That's all the scoring they had. They basically bunched it up and they did nothing the rest of the way. And it's tough to say, Shane, but Alabama's starting center was out. And without him, it's like the offense don't work. I mean, Bryce Young had himself a day because he's so talented, but we had six rushing yards, Shane, to LSU's 109. I mean, you rush 6 yards in an SEC football game with 5 stars across the board. What in the hell's going on down there? And if I'm Auburn and I'm Georgia or whoever the hell Alabama's going to face next, I'm studying this game plan. I'm just doing what LSU did here, and I think LSU did go all out, man. They played balls to the wall here. They went for fourth down 7 times, converted 5 of them. I really think this is the best coaching that Coach O and his coordinators have done all season. Let's give Durante Jones, the defensive coordinator, a ton of credit. He really did wonders on this Alabama offense, and this was after Coach O kind of called out his assistants this week, but they certainly responded, and I'm not trying to pile on Max Johnson. I know LSU fans are upset with him because he missed some throws, including potentially a game winner here, but he was getting battered left and right. But, had he made a couple throws, I think this is different. And let's give credit, Shane. LSU went into Tuscaloosa. They went in to win, and they played like it, whereas Alabama, I don't know, it almost felt like they were playing not to lose the game, and it showed to me.
Yeah, no, that's felt like safe play, and like you said, here we are at the end of the game with not one but 2 opportunities in the red zone to get some points on the board, and you just weren't able to do it. And I get it. That part's frustrating as just any fan, watching your team get so close to knocking off the number 2 ranked Alabama. I mean, I can only imagine. I was on cloud 9 just because we went up in the third quarter against these boys. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of moral victory. But I will tell you, a lot of youth on LSU's ball club. Yeah. And there was a lot of players that shined in this game. And I think if I'm a fan, I'm liking the future, man. And nothing against Coach O. It was a fun run, right? But I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm ready for the next guy to take us back to that take us back to where we're always competing with Alabama like this, where we're always competing with the top 5 teams in the country. And because that's what LSU football is all about. So, yes, does it suck that you lost this game? Absolutely, but I think I'm holding my head pretty damn high because there's some ingredients in the cupboard, man, to make a pretty nice recipe. We just need a good coach to get us there.
So it sounds like you're saying, Shane, Dan Mullen to LSU?
No. Oh, no. And I don't know. I mean, Mel Tucker, I guess that would make sense. He's the sexy hire right now, even though, didn't they lose? Didn't they just lose to Purdue?
They did. They did.
And maybe because he's already got his mind on Baton Rouge,
And there was an interesting report. I have not heard this, but the guy, John Talty, I believe is his name, AL insider, he was on Paul Feinbaum, Shane. Yeah, this will piss you off probably, but he says the Notre Dame coach, Kelly, that's the name he's hearing. So
No, bring him over, man. Bring him on down. I'm not afraid of him, you know. I know what we got with him. So, no, I'm not worried about that. Is there any other names floating around?
Of course you got Kiffin. You said Jimbo.
Yeah.
I mean, I am hearing a lot of people say that, but I think that's LSU wanting that out there, to be honest with you. I think they want people to think it's Jimbo so that it's like a smoke screen for who they really want.
Mm-hmm.
And I continue to hear Mel Tucker. So I think that'll be one of the top candidates.
Okay.
Hell, we just had Trey Wallace on the show. He thinks James Franklin. That certainly, I know we're not too big fans of James Franklin, but he did a hell of a job at Vanderbilt, and he's keeping Penn State relevant. So that certainly would be a big name. But yeah, at this time, they're keeping that thing pretty close to the vest.
Well, Mike, on the other side, if you listen really closely, you could probably hear Nick Saban yelling down there because 6 yards rushing, that may be the death of that man. Them guys haven't left film since the game.
Coach, you talked about this a little bit in your opening statement, but what kind of fight did you see out of the defense, especially late in the second half there?
What kind of fight? Oh, that's what I was talking about, the competitive character they showed, the way they played, the stops they got, the 4th and 8, where we thought we had a turnover, we didn't get a turnover, we had to go back out on the field. And then, at the end of the game when they got the ball back with a minute to go to, play things the way we needed to play them so they couldn't, get a score. So, we had 2 bad snaps today, one on field goal, one on an extra point. I mean, there's lots of places on the team where, we weren't quite up to snuff. But defensively, the way they competed in the game, the way they played in the game, I think was really, really good. The one drive where they converted 2 fourth downs, where they got to 14 points, that was probably not our best, but the rest of the game I thought was really pretty good.
Yeah. Excuse me. When you see you had 6 rushing yards on 26 attempts tonight, what goes to your mind?
Well, first of all, we lost about 20 yards on the last drive, so we might have had a few more than that. But I've already spoken to the point that we weren't able to run the ball. We didn't block them effectively up front. Whether it's the strategic plan or the execution of the plan, and most of the time it is the execution, but we're responsible for that too. So we need to do a better job of being able to block up front. I did think Damian George did a pretty good job in the game when he had to play right tackle when we moved Chris to center when Dalcourt went out. So that was a real positive. It was a positive to get him to play. He's making good progress, and I thought he played pretty well in the game.
Coach, the decision with about 7 minutes left when you were down by 6 to go for it on 4th and goal to 7 instead of kick. Can you talk about that a little bit?
We're going for it. We walked in the stadium, we were going for it. There was no question. We were going for the win the whole time.
What the self-scouting was, and you were very honest about the predictability. You went against that tonight with defensive blitzes and pressures. I didn't see a ton different on offense, but you may have been limited, and I don't know about that. But did you feel like, obviously you have nothing to lose, but did you feel like we've got nothing to lose? Let's go out fighting as best we can?
Well, I don't like that statement, nothing to lose, because there's a game to lose, and that's important to us, you know what I mean? But we felt that we had to blitz. We felt that we had to be more diverse on defense, and we worked our tails off last week. And I got to give Coach Call credit. He's an analyst for us. He came up with those 3rd down blitzes. There's a couple of 3rd down blitzes. The one that we had the sack fumble, he recommended to it. We put it in. I got to give the compliment to the defense. We had an adjustment period. I thought our defensive guys really, really got better during open day.
Oh. And I mean, just, you're kind of running out of the stadium with your arms raised, but, what's kind of going through your mind there at the end of the game?
What was that?
Just what was kind of going through your mind there as the ball dropped at the end of the game?
We're not going to let this crowd intimidate us. It wasn't going to happen. We were coming in this house to win the game, and so was I. So I was having fun with it. Part of college football.